Hello dear students, today we will do the second part of the chapter 2, The Sound of Music from your book Beehive. In this chapter, we'll come to know about the life story of the great Shehnai musician Ustad Bismillah Khan. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. So Aurangzeb banned this. Because it was called pungi in the previous time, the former form of Shehnai was called pungi, which was played in Aurangzeb's royal court, and because of its shrill voice, Aurangzeb banned it to play in the royal court. But some people still believed that it would be revived someday, and it happened also. A barber of a musician's family, he chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem which was longer and broader than the old pungi, and he made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a nai, the instrument was named the Shehnai. So when the barber made this instrument and he played first time in the Shah's chamber, it was very melodious. Its voice was very melodious and its voice was very soft. So it was given a place in the Shah's court, and now the point was there what the name should be given to that instrument. So it was decided that it was first time played in the Shah's chamber and it was played by a nai, means barber. So the instrument was named the Shehnai. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, means pure, divine, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Indispensable means compulsory. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. During that time in royal courts, 9 instruments were called the Naubat. So Shehnai was one of them. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So Ustad Bismillah Khan, the person who brought the Shehnai out from weddings and temples to classical stage. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So, when Bismillah Khan was 5 years old, from that age he went to the Bihariji temple and used to sing a Bhojpuri holy song, and in return of that song he was given a prize by the local Maharaja. The prize was in the form of a laddu, that was a very big laddu weighing 1.25 kg. And from that incident or from that event, his journey from earning a laddu to highest civilian award was there. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather Rasul Bakhsh Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's court. His father Pegambar Bakhsh and the other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So by this we can say that Bismillah Khan belonged to a musician family who, in that family, everybody played Shehnai. a great player of Shehnai. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, which is known as Varanasi now, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Bugs to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Bugs was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Bugs would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. So when he was just 3 years old, from that early age, he started showing his interest in music, in Shehnai specifically, and with his maternal uncle, he started his practice of Shehnai. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangla Maya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. The flowing water of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. So when he started getting the classes of Shehnai, he started going to the temple of Balaji and Mangla Maya to practice or to sing and play the Shehnai. And after this, he usually went to the bank of Ranganga river for hours practice. And the flowing water of Ganga usually inspired him not only to practice to improve the ragas of the Shehnai, but also he invented some more ragas which were considered to be beyond the range of Shehnai, and Bismillah Khan made possible this on Shehnai too. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. So, dear students, when Bismillah Khan was 14 years age, he went to the Allahabad Music Conference with his uncle, and he also performed there. After his performance, Ustad Fayaz Khan appreciated him and boosted him up to continue with the Shehnai. And when in 1938, when All India Radio was established, was first time started, at that time Ustad Bismillah Khan also played Shehnai on radio, and that was his first break. From there, that onwards, he was a famous Shehnai player on radio. When India gained independence on 15 August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tirest with Destiny speech. So when our country India gained its freedom on 15th of August 1947, it was celebrated on Red Fort, and there Ustad Bismillah Khan was given the chance to celebrate this independence by his Shehnai playing, and it was a great opportunity, or it was a great respect to him. And after his performance, our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru gave his first speech. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted his priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The King of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. So, dear students, Bismillah Khan was not only famous in India but also in abroad. In abroad, when he went to Afghanistan, the king of Afghanistan was so much attracted by his Shehnai, then he gave him very precious carpets and many other precious things for his performance. And even after film industry, the great film director Vijay Bhatt was also so impressed by his Shehnai playing that he made a film on the name of the instrument, that is called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. The film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's ventures in film music were limited to two: Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas's Kannada venture Sannadhi Apana. Just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis. So Bismillah Khan also gave his uh, contribution to that film with the song Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, which was a very famous song at that time, and he was got a great success in the film industry, but he did not continue with the films. He made only two films. He was attached, or uh, he was attached to the two films only. One was Gunjuti Shanai and second was Kannada movie Sanadhi Apanna. And when he was asked why he did not continue with the films, so he told that he was not able to cope up with the artificiality of this film industry. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival, and in the Osaka Trade Fair. So well known did he became internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tehar Mausiki Ustad Bismillah Khan. So Bismillah Khan was a very famous performer, and many he got many awards and many recognitions very fast. So he was the first Indian person who was invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal in the Cannes Art Festival, which is very famous international festival, and also Osaka Trade Fair. In those festivals and fair, he also performed. So he was very well known internationally also. One of his fan was very much impressed by him that in Tehran one auditorium was named after him, Tahar Masiki Ustad Bismillah Khan. National awards like the Padma Shri and the Padma Vibhushan and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. So Ustad Bismillah Khan got many awards like Bharat Ratna, national awards like uh, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, and many others. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, with the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness. He said, "All I would like to say is teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition ever. The West is now coming to learn our music." So Ustad Bismillah Khan was so much attached to the music, then even after getting the highest award of Bharat Ratna, he inspired the people to teach their children the Hindustani classical music. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Sahib, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. Later he remembered to have said, "That's why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the Holy Ganga, And while in Banaras, I miss the unique mutt of Dumrao. So Khan Sahib was very fond of his Banaras and Dumrao. He usually called them the most wonderful cities in the world. So when a student offered him to head a Shehnai school in USA, he refused him by saying that there is no Banaras, there is no Ganga, and he won't be able to go there without them. When the student offered him that he would replicate, he would establish some temples like Banaras there, then he asked whether he would be able to take the Ganga also there. So, such a great musician he was, such a great person he was, such a great lover of his motherland he was. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. So he was such a great person. He was such a true Muslim who usually went to the temple of Kashi Vishwanath to play Shehnai every morning. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 after a long illness. He was given a state funeral and the government of India declared one day of national mourning. So on his death, he we lost a great person, a great Muslim, a great musician, or a great soul of India. Thank you and have a nice day.